What's up, badasses, and welcome to the internet. My name, my name is Jay Howard. With me is Tommy Shelby
Hello.
and Ryan Robinson.
Hi.
And together we do a podcast called the Save Continue Podcast, where we get together and talk about video games and video game related stuff. And this is our 300th episode. Yay us! I wish we had a
Yikes.
soundboard so I could do the canned clapping noise.
Sure.
Yeah. You can get that for yourself for Christmas if you want.
I could, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
I might, but probably not. But yeah, so 300 episodes. We've been doing this for a hot minute.
Yes.
At least longer than a week.
Yeah, that's true. We have been doing it longer than a week.
Does it feel that long, Ryan?
Not to
Does
me.
it feel 300 long?
No.
Because I feel like it should be longer.
Yeah.
Only because we went to every other week, like 2 years ago. You know?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then and we also took some breaks there too, but not.
That's true.
Not for super long. Not like that. No, it feels like very much like it shouldn't be 300 episodes, and also that this is something I've done my entire life.
Yeah.
It's really hard to remember living in San Antonio and not doing this podcast.
I remember when we started this, and Tom and I were using my iPhone 6 as our microphone.
It's funny you mentioned that on 200. Yeah. I just listened to 200
because it's funny because like I had no idea that we would still be doing it 6 years later. What, 6 or 7 years later now?
Oh no, who knows?
Let's say 6.
We'll say 6.
So yeah,
I was in my early 30s when we started this. I'm now in my late 30s.
Yeah, that's how time and math works.
Sure.
Maybe that's what you're trying to add up. But yeah, do you feel like doing this podcast has changed anything about how you feel about video games, or approach them, or I guess consume them, than if y'all had never done it?
I think so it's different than it used to be, right? Like our first couple of years doing it, I always, not always, but before doing the podcast, I kept up with a lot of what was going on in the industry, just because I was interested in it, you know? But the first few years of the podcast certainly made me keep up with news even more heavily than I was already, you know, trying to be aware of things. Now I feel like that's kind of dwindled a bit, which I think most people would find hilarious. I think I still am pretty up to date on what's going on, but I don't put forth the effort I used to, you know.
But do you think do you think it would be at this level of video game news consumption if you had never done it? Because I feel like you probably wouldn't have gone through that phase of getting into it a lot more heavily without it.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know, right? Before we did the podcast, I could tell you all the figureheads of most major studios and all that shit. You know, that was before we ever recorded anything. But I think if anything has changed, your guys' perspective on things has kind of changed the way that I look at gaming. You know, I guess I lived in this closed off space to where this is what I'm into, so this is what's cool, you know. And you guys are both into very different things than I am. I mean, there's some crossover for sure, you know, but you know, you guys have definitely made me more interested in other things.
Yeah, I mean, besides obviously I've said it before, because I've been kind of using y'all throughout the years to build a larger gaming knowledge for me. Cause like I've always been more like as casual when it comes to like the video game industry.
Yeah.
Rather like, and I've just been like a consumer of like video games themselves. Like, and yeah, like I think it's really cool when anyone has like a large amount of knowledge of any subject. Like I'm like, yeah, you've dedicated yourself. That's cool. Like I like that passion, and I definitely don't think that I would probably have played like as varied games. Well, no, I don't know. I just wouldn't be as like thoughtful about the games that I do play and like wonder about like more of the processes and the companies who make them. I definitely wouldn't be as aware of that as I am now. But some of them also might just be age because I was more
Sure. I think that's how it is, though, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I remember Ryan and I were in high school. We were playing video games back then. We didn't give a fuck about who was making what, or
Yeah,
you know.
it's funny. I was just thinking about this earlier today. And I was thinking about games that that I was playing like years ago, and like back when like we were in our teens and preteens, and like I was just like if it wasn't if Capcom or Konami or Square didn't make it, then I didn't know who made anything.
Yeah,
and like
and that information was out there, right? Maybe not as readily available as it is today, but like EGM had interviews with these guys, like, and I'd pick up those magazines, but all I really gave a shit about was like what's coming out that's new, and give me the cheat codes.
Well, like,
and that was it.
Like I remember when I was a kid, I would read a lot of GamePro.
Yeah.
Because I guess I felt like that. I guess that was like the magazine to read. I guess. Even though looking back on it, like I've looked over some GamePro articles over like kind of recently. I'm like, this really isn't very good actually. But like, like I would read that stuff all the time, and I'm not even really sure what I was looking for in those magazines. I guess outside of like screenshots of different things. Because back then, like that's all I cared about really was just like, I want to see the screenshots of the new thing. And I want to see how many fives this thing got, right? And then like I remember the first time I can remember actually like paying attention to when a game was coming out and who was making it was in the lead up to Mortal Kombat 4. Because I remember there was like a lot of because that was like it was the first polygonal Mortal Kombat, so it was like a huge deal. And like I remember like reading all this stuff about like because it was Midway at the time, and like Midway was like putting all these like they were all doing all these pop-ups where like they would take the cabinet places and like people would like freak out, and I would see all these articles and like pictures of people like freaking out over the cabinet. And that was like the last time I remember like following a game from release, from like throughout the development cycle up to release. But like even then, like I didn't really think about like, because that was like, I don't remember, that was like late 90s, maybe mid to late 90s, and I even then I had no concept of like what goes into making video games or like any of that stuff. I was just like, this is when I found out about the game, and this is when the game came out. That's all I know. But now, like, I know so much about like who's making the game, like I care about like who's directing it. I care about like who the designer is. Like before, like I didn't give a shit because I didn't really look into that stuff. But
that's with a lot of things, though, right? Like when I was a kid watching fucking Con Air, like I didn't care about who directed it or who wrote it,
Yeah.
But like, yeah,
I didn't know I didn't know who directors were if they weren't Steven Spielberg.
Right. So. Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like I never really thought about, because the video game magazine I have like the most history with is Game Informer.
Yeah.
So I never really thought about like what I was like trying to find while going through it. I think like looking back at it, like trying to think of that headspace, I think I was just like angsty. So like any of like the big popular games that like the magazine like was doing like the main spreads on, I didn't give a shit about those. I was like, oh, that's like everyone likes this game. It's dumb. And I just remember just like going and trying to find like them talking about the games that I thought like had a good art style. So it's pretty similar to now. Uh, but no, and then just like what I thought was like alternative and like cool. I'm like, oh, well, this game looks better.
No.
I guess I was just reading it to uh try and like I guess like form a snooty opinion. uh
Some of the
I,
Game Informer cover stories were really good, though.
yeah,
Yeah.
I do wish that I had like a pretty good stack of them.
Yeah.
So
Actually,
back then,
it's funny because like the one that always, whenever I think of Game Informer like cover stories, the one that sticks out in my mind, like it's just it like I have like a very like vivid image of it is the time they did a cover story on Splinter Cell Double Agent.
Oh man, see, because I've got one that sticks in my mind, and I thought for sure we'd be on the same page.
Which one was yours?
The Arkham City cover.
I don't even think I was reading Game Informer at that point.
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, because Arkham City was what 2012, I think.
I mean, at that point, it was
2011.
when GameStop was just giving you Game Informers for having their little bullshit
So at that
rewards thing, you know?
Yeah,
Because that started with the Edge card before it was the power up card. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
yeah, I know. So because they were doing the Game Informer with the Edge card or their like subscription card or whatever, discount card, back when they bought Babbage's and EB Games. So, yeah, I'm surprised so far back that the about the Game Informer or so I guess like more recent as far as the Arkham City, and that was 2011 because I was working at I ran the.
I was
Midnight
living in
Laundry.
Gotham at the time.
I mean, just that cover, the white background that they did, you know,
Yeah.
that just stuck out to me.
Yeah.
And that is about the time when I maybe a couple of years before that when I really started digging into the industry, you know.
Sticks out to me is I'm pretty sure it was Twilight Princess, but there was like a Legend of Zelda cover once where they had like 4 or 5 different ones of it, and if you got them all together, then they would like do like a long scene.
Yeah. Oh, that's like the Chris Claremont X-Men #1.
Kind of, yeah. So, but like, but I would, but I was working there no. Anyways, but I remember working at a store that had one, like, and like somebody had like cut it up and like put it as like a little display thing above the counter, and that's like one of the cooler ones to me. It's like but man, I do like very much remember Gears of War 3 cover and like the story, because at that point I was like, I don't even know what Gears, like I don't know anything about Gears of War, so I tried reading it and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't get any of this.
Yeah, you didn't understand Dominic's pain.
Tom is like obsessed with that man.
It is just funny. It's the funniest thing to me, like remembering when Gears of War, what was it? Was it 2 when his wife dies?
Yeah.
It
Wait,
2.
3. It was 3. It was 3 when his wife died.
Was it 3?
Yeah. It was
Whichever
3.
one it was, is hilarious. Like people on the internet talking about that being like good writing in
I think it
video
was 2
games.
actually. Well, that's that is the funny thing about it, right? Because I think that like for all the benchmarks that Gears of War set at the time,
Yeah.
like and like especially if you listen to like if you ever see like Cliff Bleszinski talk about Gears of War.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Band of Brothers.
Yeah, and just like you play it, and it's just like this isn't hitting those same notes like at all. Because Band of Brothers and because if you look at them, like Band of Brothers and Gears of War are like on 2 very different ends of the spectrum, right? Because I think one is like very somber and very like sort of like of like dark vibe, where like Gears of War is like hell yeah bro, like guzzle that
Ryan, they had Mad World in the trailer, all right?
Which, by the way, I was actually talking to Kaylee about that recently, and it's about like whenever you like put an old ass song that no one's listening to into a popular thing, and then everybody starts listening to that old ass song all of a sudden. It's like it's very like I could not stop hearing that song for like 2 weeks after that fucking that fucking TV spot hit, and it just
Yeah, it's
Like,
like
it's
between
Stranger
that and
Things.
Donnie Darko, that song was everywhere.
It's like
Yeah.
Stranger Things and Running Up That Hill. Like that song has been in so many CW shows,
Yeah.
and yeah, no,
That's amazing.
everywhere. But to kind of like step back a little bit, you know, you were talking earlier about how when we would do like when we first when it, for years we were doing like a new well, we didn't say it, but we were also doing it. We also did a news segment for those who are newer.
Yeah.
We used to do 3 shows a week. One was like talking about the weekly news. One was like our main like discussion one that you're listening to now, and then another was a segment called "Check It Out." I guess or show. I shouldn't call it a segment. And where we talked about like games and stuff that we were playing or that we thought like people should check out. Um, Sometimes I miss it, but also for me personally, it was like kind of really hard to keep up because I do like once I get on something, I stay on it forever. I'm gonna find out every fact about it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna play it from every angle. So doing a check it out for me as like the way that I game is extremely difficult because it's like I'm gonna recommend the same 5 games.
I really love that. Check it out. We didn't do it for very long, but like,
We did it for like a year and a half.
you know, I think about those things, right? Like the news and check it out, and I'm like, these could be segments of the main show, you know? If we had a more structured show.
Yeah.
But
I do remember thinking about like how it was. I remember thinking about how like we could have fit the news into like the main show if like we actually like cared to put that together.
Right.
But like I also did like because I never looked at on one hand, right? It could be easy to look at our news segment and think about like, well, you know, we're not giving you anything that you couldn't just find on your own, right? Like we're giving you stuff that's pretty readily available. But like I enjoyed the aspect of it where, you know, I feel like our perspective added a lot to it for me, like hearing like what you guys thought about different things that were going on. And because a lot of the time, like throughout the week, it was stuff that I was already seeing on the internet, but like at the same time, a lot of the things that I would see about these different stories were like people just reiterating the same things over and over again.
Right.
And I always felt like I enjoyed doing the news because like every time we did it, one of you would say something or give a perspective that I hadn't heard before. And that was always something to look forward to for me. Maybe do it again. I don't know.
But so even if we're not like the most structured, I still think we've done some like pretty good episodes. Like
Yeah.
I really liked the episodes that we did one a while back for each of us, like in our history of video games and like kind of like, you know, what
That was fun.
and those were really nice because like even if I know some of it and like some of it we've said stories like to each other or we've talked about it on the show, like because obviously if like something in our history is like relevant, we'll bring it up. But it's I don't know, it's nice to get like a and one stop for it and like learn new things about you guys. I also I know I snapped at Ryan, but I really, really liked it when whenever the Switch came out and we did those I'm blanking on the name of it right now.
Snipper
Cardboard.
clips. Oh no, the
Labo.
Labo. That took us like 6 hours, but it was
so much longer than we thought. But
it was fun. It was fun. Like it was
Yeah,
a cool. It was like a really cool like because it like there was something about like putting those things together that was like very like chill. And it was just easy, just like we're just hanging out, like putting these like dumb cardboard things together. And then we got them put together and we checked them out for like an hour and then we never saw them again. But
we actually brought this up on episode 200. We talked about how much we enjoyed doing Labo. And then I mentioned that my niece, who was 2 years younger at the time, was still playing with all of those things.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a very for as fleeting as it was. I don't feel like I can't remember having an experience like that was like that. It was very simple. It didn't like blow my mind or anything, but it was also like very like a way of like bringing like games into like kind of more physical medium that was just like a very unique experience. I don't think that I can't imagine that like doing something like that again would have the same effect on me, because I feel like it was kind of like a very time and place kind of thing for me. But getting to do that with you guys was like a lot of fun. I remember the piano, I remember the fishing rod, and I don't remember the motorcycle. That's right,
Yeah.
motorcycle.
Shanae made the house.
Yeah.
Make a house. I built a house. We did not live in it.
Yeah.
I do also like really. It's not necessarily like a topic or thing, but I really do like the way that you name our episodes, Ryan. Because
The way he used to.
Oh yeah.
So I tried. So
Ryan's trying to feed the algorithm now.
it doesn't have an appetite for what I'm doing. So I feel
No, it
like
does not.
I got to the point where I'm just like I just name them the way that I had been naming them before, because it was more fun to do it that way. I like, but
Right.
now I got to the point where I was like, I would read up on it and I was like, well, if you say what it is, then people are more likely to click. And I was just like, well, I mean, I'm not getting any more engagement this way either way. So I'm just gonna go back to the fucking puns and wordplay that I was doing before. It's fine.
I
Yeah.
like that we have an episode called the minimal amounts of boobage.
Yeah.
Come on, Cheech.
Yeah.
There were a couple that were named after things you said. Like there was one that's called "This Isn't Fucking Chili's," and I don't even remember why you said that.
I don't know why I said that either.
I think it was while you
But
were working
also-
at that
that was-
restaurant. I think it was while you were working at that restaurant, and
I
like
think it might.
and
That makes sense.
you were going off about some lady who like was being unreasonable, and you were like, "This isn't fucking Chili's," and like right then in my mind, I was like, "That's an episode title."
Yeah.
But also, like, one of the many probably episodes that I've talked about at Tommy's, the more you know, Tommy. That one was good too.
That's pretty
that
good.
one,
Man, I'm more clever than I thought.
yeah. No, there's a lot of really good ones. But yeah, I don't know if you've. But as far as like since the like pandemic, obviously we've had to like change how we do things. Because like we are no longer in the same place.
This is the new normal. That's what they call it. That's what they've been calling it. The new normal.
Yeah, well, I miss you guys.
I mean, I'm down to record in person. I just don't want to do it from my bedroom anymore. You know what's funny is on 200, we talked about getting this out of my bedroom 2 years ago.
Hey,
And we did it. We accomplished an objective.
I don't mind doing it at my house. Oh, well, we can talk about this later.
Yeah.
But now that I'm also a homeowner, Thomas.
Well, you guys both talked about home ownership on that episode as well.
Yeah, I did
Yeah,
a thing that I
I
said I
failed.
would do.
Yeah.
Shanae succeeded though. So
Yeah, but I have a loveless marriage and you don't. So, like, you know, you have to.
man, you really got to stop saying that.
I do also kind of miss. I mean, this is my toxic trait, but I do kind of miss when y'all used to frustrate me more. I know we got some comments about y'all being mean to me.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Whoever said that's a fucking
But
idiot.
but like what we said though was that like that what they don't see is what Shanae says to us off camera, and how she
They
treats
don't
us off
see,
camera.
they don't
One
see you
time
trying to give
I
us
said-
chocolate with vegetables. They
Yeah,
don't
they
see
didn't see
that.
that.
Mango is not a
Yeah.
vegetable. And I one time gave y'all, I was like, I said my opinion of how I think that if y'all dressed a different way, that I would think this would fit your body better. And this is just my opinion. And y'all
Wow.
my advice.
That is you can't see. That's one of those things that you can't say at work.
I think we had just met you at that point too.
You can't say that at work. They get you a talk with HR. I think.
What, saying that mango's not a vegetable?
No, you can't say the thing about how these clothes will fit your body better.
We had not just met. Well, me and you hadn't just met, but I have been still doing the podcast for like a while because this was in line. We went to see what game was it? E3 at the
It was
theater?
It was Sony's E3 presentation
yeah,
There we go.
for
And
like 20
14, 15.
17,
2015,
16.
something.
It had to
Yeah.
be like 2018.
2018 maybe.
I mean, I've still got the pass. I'll let you know.
You can chart our the time passage of our podcast by two things. One, how fat my face gets, and two, Shanae's hair changes. Because when we started the show, she was like this,
Oh yeah.
and then there was a grayish.
I had it gray, and I had it a lot shorter, and then yeah, it grew out, and then it went pink.
I don't remember the pink.
Yeah, it was pink for a while, and it was like when it was around my shoulders. Because you have to die. Because for those who are tuning in for video games, but you're not gonna get some hair facts. You go from blonde to like a darker color, like brown or black. You need to put like a layer of red in there. But instead of like doing like a red, I did pink. Facts for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Just in case you were ever planning to dye your hair.
So like every now and then I'll go back on our YouTube and watch old videos that we've done. And my favorite thing is to watch us doing Twitch streams and like Let's Plays and stuff like that. Which is like, we were never, I mean, we're not really successful here either, but we're never really successful on Twitch.
Yeah.
But like, that's some of my favorite content of ours. Because like, that's just always something fucking stupid. Like the few videos I've sent you guys, like clips I've sent you guys over the past month or two, have been from that shit, and like Ryan singing for Her Story and like crap like that. Oh my god, dude, that shit gets me every time. Or like us playing, like it's me playing Space Channel 5 and like doing poorly. Oh my god,
the boing, it always gets me. We did a McDonald's Let's Play one time.
We did a McDonald's Let's Play, yeah. Dude, my favorite, check it out, still is Ryan doing the fucking HOTAS flight stick, because, like, one, we made an audio version of it. Two, like...
Oh, yeah.
It's the video version of it, our camera setup at the time, I don't remember what we were using to record at that time.
We were using that fucking DSLR, I think.
I think we were using the webcam.
Oh, yeah, okay, cool.
But, like, Ryan's... The way the camera is framed on us, the HOTAS flight stick is like too big to fit in the fucking frame. And somehow that's one of our most viewed things.
I think one of the things I think about a lot with those videos is when we did a check it out on my computer, and like right when I ended the video, you were like, one more thing. If you think you can mess with him. I'm on a computer.
The Let's Play or whatever on the My Horse Prince.
Oh yeah, dude. That's just so fucking funny.
So that was almost the first video that my dad like listened to or watched.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, Dad, this can't be the first thing that you see about it. Because he wanted to be like a supportive dad and like see what I was into, but I'm like, oh, this is not the episode. This is not.
You don't want him to hear
I'm very
disgusting
proud
things
of that
his
episode.
daughter says on the show.
I'm very proud of the Horse Prince thing because, like, one, I do think it was entertaining. Like, it's funny to fucking watch. But two, like, we've always run a pretty bootleg operation. Like, none of us really knows what we're doing. And the fact that I figure out how to record the screen of a phone, I know that's not impressive, but like to me, that was an accomplishment.
It was a pretty big deal because I think the first time we tried to figure it out was with Crazy Taxi. We tried to do a Crazy Taxi.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Off the phone.
I don't think you had an iPhone at the time, so I don't think you were doing you weren't doing like just screen recordings and like.
I had an iPhone.
Yeah, we did it on Tommy's phone.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
but either way, that shit was fucking funny, man.
Yeah, because like I run it every now and then, like I'd say like maybe 3 times a year into My Horse Prince, like out in the wild, because like the Atomi and like other.
Because of the circles you run in.
Yeah, I almost said that, but I was like, that's not true.
Yeah.
It's just the internet. None of my friends love this shit. I don't know anybody in real life that likes the shit that I do. I have one coworker that also watches like some of the same like garbage that I do, and I'm just like, yes, one person, thank you. But yeah, every now and then though, I run into Horse Prince, and it always makes me like smile, and I like now have like a soft spot in my heart because that episode, I was just so embarrassed because I was like, okay, just like because you're like, oh, you're really good at making choosing the options. And I couldn't tell if you were
Yeah.
fucking with me or not. But
This is the genre you like, right, Sinead?
I mean, you knew what to do better than we. You knew how that horse would react better than we did.
To be
Yeah.
fair, that Horse Prince game had more gameplay than most Otomis have, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Chopping those leeks and all that.
And then also the treadmills.
Yeah.
Ride around as a horse. Yeah.
I just suddenly thought of the layers of fear. Fucking
the combination lock.
Oh my god! Like Tom grilling Shanae about combination locks and like
You're getting more and more frustrated.
like
it's not fair, right? It's totally not fair. Ryan and I grew up at a time where like you knew how to use a combination lock, you know. And it's not fair that I should expect anybody else, you know.
She's like, I know what a combination lock is, Tom. I just found her. That was good.
So is it? I'm gonna walk back me saying I know what a combination lock is. So I know that there's like the spinny one for like
it was the spinny. It was that.
And then, but there's also like the ones that are on like briefcases.
No. It was the spinny one.
Yeah,
it's like the old school padlock dial.
Yeah,
I
was gonna say like, so are those both combination locks?
Yeah,
and just like different types, or like do they actually have different names?
I mean, you have to put a combination in both of them, so
yeah.
Well, technically, a key like is because it's a combination of like bumps and grooves unlocking your door. So
sure,
bumps and grooves. That's the name of this episode.
Yeah.
Also, I always feel really guilty, but sometimes it is really fun to make you mad, Ryan. I don't. You're talking about the new PlayStation 5 controller.
Oh
I'll admit. I will admit
funny.
that my phrasing left something to be desired. But
no, I love.
But like we've all of us have been visibly pissed on the show before, and I love that.
Yeah, because friends aren't always
because this is when people stop being polite and start getting real.
Yeah.
Oh my god, let's do a real world road rules challenge. I am so down for this.
I mean, sure. I think you have to be considerably more attractive than any of us to get on that show, though. So.
I am thin, so bam.
That is true.
Get it.
That's not me. It was when we started this show, but not anymore.
It's weird because you eat significantly less McDonald's than you did when we first started this show.
That is true, actually. I don't try to eat 2 McGriddles anymore. I don't know what that was about. I was running away from something when I was doing that. I was trying to escape something when I was doing that.
You're trying to hide your pain.
Yeah. Man.
What else you got down there, Shanae?
Oh yeah. Sorry, but as like a little fun thing, we have all kind of picked up and dropped different like segment ideas to add to the show. Just the things that probably caught our interest, see if we wanted to do it, and then all of us are lazy.
Yeah.
So so I figured that one of the things we would do is we could each do like a little segment based off things we've done in the past. The one that I prepared is I try to do trivia in like a couple different ways because I don't know, I like trivia. I'm bad at doing it personally in person. Like if I'm like watching a show or listening to something, great at it. Pub crawls, I freeze up. It's like I've never heard words before.
Sure.
Yeah, it's really disappointing because I was planning on getting rich by going on game shows, but that's like fucked off now. But yeah, so I plan on doing trivia and like adding up totals and like each month and like doing stuff like that. That didn't happen, but
Oh yeah, the scorecard.
Yeah, I found some of my scores.
The scorecard.
Yeah. Where we had left off, Tommy was in the lead.
I can Google without you guys seeing me now. So
that's fair. Please don't do it. But yeah, so I just prepared like just 3 trivia questions. I figured one kind of in like geared towards each of us. but obviously I can't participate because I know the answers, and that's like cheating. I'm gonna ask the question, and I also have multiple choice for each one of these. So if y'all want them, or if you just know the answer and want to show it off, you'll get double.
Do we
the
just
points.
shout it out, or are we taking turns, or what's happening?
I figure y'all can shout it out because it's just you two. But do you want to take turns?
I don't care.
All right, we'll take turns because it seems like Thomas wants to. That I don't care seemed very pouty.
I don't care.
All right. All right. Well, actually, no. Let's make sense to more. Start with Ryan first. All right, Ryan. How many Legend of Zelda games are there? Not
Legends of
including
Zeldan.
remakes. Is that what I said?
Yeah. You said Zeldan.
How many Legend of Zelda games, not including remakes, are there? And you can let me know if you want multiple choice on this or not.
I want multiple choice. Physical
Thomas,
challenge.
Thomas, do you know this without multiple choices?
I think I could get pretty close without multiple choice. I don't think I can get the exact number.
Okay.
Because I don't know, like, are we counting Oracle of Ages and Seasons as two separate games? Are we counting the CDI games, you know? Like,
are
we counting BS Zelda, you know? Like, there's too many variables.
So this is me going through Wikipedia and counting from the Wikipedia page. And
Yeah.
I think the CDI, at least one of the CDI games is on there.
Yeah.
But, and these are the games that are...
See, but then we're counting spin-offs too then, right? We're counting, like, fucking Four Swords and Triforce Heroes and, like...
We are.
You know? So in that case, then no, I don't know. But I feel like I could take a pretty educated guess at the multiple choice.
So, all right. But Ryan gets to guess first, though. But option A is 28. Option B, 13. Option C, 20. And option D, 19.
I'm rewatching Tom's reaction to the choices to try and gauge it.
It's A.
Um,
If they're counting the spin-offs and shit, because I can think of like 14 fucking mainline Zelda games.
if that is
You
right,
know?
do me and Tom both get the point? Because I'm gonna just go with Tommy because he has the Historia. So
Historia doesn't count
not
all that shit.
Not including not in, is that, are you both saying, so you're both saying A?
I'm saying A. 19 is way too low.
what was A again?
You know, like 28.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 20. I was just gonna go with the biggest number.
It at the moment is actually 19.
Then they're not counting all the spin-offs then.
Well,
all right.
according to
Because, okay,
Wikipedia-
just think about it real quick, okay?
Do we go
Zelda
through
1, 2. A Link to the Past.
Hold on.
Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. Skyward Sword, The Minish Cap, Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons, Twilight Princess, The Wind Waker, Breath of the Wild, fucking Four Swords Adventures, Triforce Heroes. You know, like that's already like 15 there. You know, like there's I don't know.
So, so here's what I counted: Legend of Zelda, Legend of Zelda 2, Link to the Past, Awakening, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Oracle Seasons Ages, Link to the Past, and Four Swords. Actually, no. Oh, I just.
It's a compilation of 2 games.
It is. It is. My own questions are wrong. Because I was just like going through like the list, and then it had like the remakes as like a second thing.
Yeah.
So, but then, but yeah. So I guess it's not.
It's an impossible to answer question. You know.
Too many is the actual correct answer. All of you failed, including
Link's crossbow training. You know, like where does it stop?
Yeah.
There's too many.
Follow the money.
All right. So the ones that are geared towards you guys, are on games that y'all have said are your favorites, and of course, I don't know. So
yeah, well, no, because
now we're gonna look like fools.
Yeah, is this gonna be one of those situations where you call me out on my bullshit because like I don't know something about my favorite game?
Yeah.
Oh, this is
because also.
Can you let me finish? So I don't know, because I just looked up like trivia about these games, and then I picked a question each that popped up on like multiple quizzes
All
or
right. Let's do
factoids.
it.
So I don't know how difficult these questions are.
Okay.
Is what I was trying to fucking say.
Okay.
Got
But
it.
All right.
okay.
So
Okay.
Thomas, how many Shadow of the Colossi, or how many Colossi were planned for Shadow of the Colossus? Not released,
Oh
but
shit! Right. So 16 were released. I think they were planning for like twice that, like 30, 32, something like that. But I don't remember. I don't know the exact number though.
Do you want me to offer the options?
Yes.
I have multiple choice. I have different numbers
Yes.
to pick from.
Yeah, I know they originally planned for many more. Go ahead.
So, A 24,
No.
B 48, C 16, D 32.
I'm gonna say 48.
Where are you going with, Ryan?
I'm gonna go with 32.
It is 48. Thomas is
Yeah.
correct.
I remembered it was like a ridiculously high number. You know. Also, that game was like originally multiplayer as well.
Was one of you playing as the horse?
Well, if you can watch like old like prototype footage for it.
Yeah.
And it's a bunch of little fucking ecos. You know, it's like
That's
a bunch
pretty
of them. Yeah.
That actually sounds pretty cool. I like
like
Eco.
almost Monster Hunter looking, you know?
Now
Yeah.
you're talking my language.
Yeah.
And then, but my next question is for Ryan.
All right.
This is about Doom. So, what movie is the name Doom derived from?
Dune?
Doom. Why are you not saying all my words wrong?
No, like you asked a question and like my answer is Dune.
Oh,
I
Doom.
know this. If you give me the multiple choice, I know it.
Okay,
All right. Do you want the multiple choice?
Yeah,
All right,
I'll go for it. Go for it.
All right, but yeah, remember, Ryan answers first, Thomas.
Yes, ma'am.
So A, Color of Money, B, Aliens, C, Evil Dead, D, Army of Darkness.
So Dune wasn't even an answer.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, so hold on. So like the actual name, not like the stylistic font or whatever, right?
Yeah, the actual name. I couldn't find the details about why this name comes from this movie, but I saw this on multiple trivia quizzes, so I assumed it was like kind of like common knowledge because I wasn't trying to make these super hard, but more fun.
I just realized when I do this, I look like one of those Cenobites.
Cinnabon.
Yeah.
Ryan, it's two of the Raimi movies, right? So obviously it's got to be one of those.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Army of Darkness.
What are you gonna say, Thomas?
That would also be my guess.
Both of you are wrong. It is Color of Money.
I don't know what that is.
What is that?
I feel like you just made that movie up. You know.
So it is a so Color of Money is a 1986.
It's some fucking John Carmack college film that he made.
It's a Martin Scorsese movie.
Oh, that's why I only like the only Martin Scorsese movie that matters to me is Goodfellas.
That is true.
Yeah. But yeah, there you go. That's my trivia. One question kind of based around each of us.
I like it. We should do trivia more often.
Yeah, trivia is fun, man.
Oh, awesome. I like it a lot, but I thought you guys weren't really down for it. That's why.
No, I like it. I just feel bad when I get things wrong, you know? Like, so for listeners of the show, there's a lot of times where, like, we'll have a podcast with a trivia segment and, you know, Ryan or I will get the answer incorrect and then we'll freak out. So we have to, like, just scrap the episode. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah. I don't need to be. I don't feel like I need to be right that much. But Tom
loves it.
Tom prides himself in knowing things. He's a person who knows things. So
and to be fair, he does know quite a bit about certain things.
That's true. That is true.
Not women.
That's.
I mean,
obviously.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your relationship status?
Single and ready to mingle.
There we go. Anybody out there? Tom, give them your stats.
No. Give them your stats.
And I didn't even know what I meant by that. I don't even know what they could have been any stats, really.
You meant wiener size.
No, I didn't mean that. You could say that now if you want to.
Sure.
You don't have to say it. You want me to put it in the description?
Yeah, we'll put a link to it.
But yeah, so I made a suggestion, but I didn't know if you were still down for it. For yours, Ryan.
Yeah.
Do we want to do it?
Yeah.
Or do you have another idea?
No, I mean, do it.
Another thing that Thomas came up with, but Ryan ran. That we all had a lot of fun with is Rise from Your Grave. If it's in other episodes, you may have heard me from time to time. Call him Ryan, Rise from Your Grave Robinson. I actually don't know what the references to, but
We've told you.
I know, but I've mentioned many times I have a shitty memory.
Yeah.
It's basically like a goldfish, and like, yeah, it's just.
This is funny because like you clearly researched things for this episode, but you couldn't like Google "Rise from Your Grave" real quick. Oh my god!
Correct, sir.
Yeah.
Well, I just so
Ryan,
happened.
do you want to describe the segment and then do it?
Okay, so Rise from Your Grave is a segment in which I open up the sarcophagus, one of my sarcophagi of physical-based games, and pull out a disc, and we talk about it. You know, most of the time, huh?
It was random, wasn't it?
It was random. I would always just grab one of the cases that I have and I pull a disc out of it. One time it was just the Xbox. One time it was just the Xbox Live disc, which didn't really work out. But and I don't even know why. I don't know why I held on to that but
I still have a PS3 Netflix disc somewhere around here.
Yeah, but like a lot of the time, a lot of the disc-based games that I have in those cases are like franchises that are like either just long dormant or just completely dead, which is what's usually fascinating about it. So each of the cases that I have is usually covers a specific console, or at the very least a family of consoles. Like I have an Xbox case and I have a PlayStation case and whatever. So actually, I just realized that the configuration of this living room has changed since the last time we did Rise from Your Grave. So
we can't do it.
We can do it. I just have to.
That's fucking awesome.
Hold on.
I'm gonna give you time to like try and find it.
I'm gonna go blank real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right. So Thomas, I had a couple suggestions.
Yeah.
What segment do you want to do and describe?
I don't know, man. Like I tried looking for old show notes because I have them all. I don't know where the fuck they're at.
You said like them all in a stack because we.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, the last time we did that was so long ago. Like they're probably in a box somewhere, you know.
You don't have a whole lot of things in your house. It has to be hard to actually lose things.
It is not.
Yeah. But we used to. One of the suggestions though was we had like a small segment where Tom had a stack of show notes books of like when we used to check it out and like show stuff, and a lot of it's like really hard to go back and like think about what those were because some of them were shorthand or just one words.
Yeah.
And so he would like read a page and we'd try to figure out what that page was talking about.
Yeah. Unfortunately, much like Ryan, we can't do that for the same reason, pretty much.
Hold on. I actually think I actually know where all my notebooks are and where my notebook with the show notes would be. But that doesn't help you for doing your own goddamn segment because I'm apparently gonna have to prop up the entire show.
I'm back.
Yeah. Well, you didn't. I mean, look. Had you told us okay? So here's what happened. About 5 minutes ago, Shanae texted us a list of ideas for our 300th episode. All I'm saying is, had I got that yesterday, this wouldn't have been an issue. You know.
What was it? What happened?
He's saying I told y'all while we're recording the show which segments we're gonna do, and that's why y'all are not prepared.
No, I said basically the same as you, Ryan. Like Shanae wanted me to look over because I have all of our old notebooks.
Sure. Yeah.
With like our old notes for shows.
Yeah.
and we used to like return to a random one and read from it and try to decipher it.
Yeah, that was fun.
But like, had I known that we were doing that a day or two ago, I could have located those. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
okay, well,
it's the same issue as you with Rise from Your Grave.
I have
you came up with like actual ideas.
I have two sarcophagi, Shanae. So relax. I have two sarcophagi.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so here's
so hey, wait. So in lieu of doing the show notes, we're gonna do 2 Rise from Your Grave.
Yeah, I'm gonna open up 2 tombs. Okay.
Yeah.
We also used to do a show pitch where Thomas would say different sitcoms.
Yeah, what was that? I remember you put that, and I was like, oh yeah, but what the fuck was that?
So you would the thing was that you are a
he's like a big company executive.
CEO
Yeah.
of Verge Inc. I can't remember Rise from Your Grave, but I can remember your company is Verge Inc.
Yeah.
Because it's and he was CEO, and he was trying.
Oh right.
And he would give us a sitcom, and me and you, Ryan, would have to pitch shows.
Yeah.
Pitch games based off those sitcoms and what those games would be like. I think the Prison Mike episode.
Yeah, that was the only game that got greenlit.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. I want to hear you guys' pitches.
That's the only game that got greenlit so far.
This is good. Okay, so 1 Rise from Your Grave, 1 sitcom.
But I dug
pitch.
out 2 sarcophagi.
Okay, well, fuck it. Do 2.
We got 2. We got time for 2. Okay. All right, I'm not looking.
Okay.
I don't know.
You can't tell.
None of them are rising anymore.
Okay.
I just broke them all.
I got.
Oh yeah.
I got Max Payne 2. Which is this is an interesting one because what is it, like a remake coming out?
There's a remake coming out from Remedy that's going to cover the story of both of the first games.
Right. Published by Rockstar, right? Because they don't still kind of have the publishing rights to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Max Payne is probably one of the cooler like shooters of its time, and I think that it's a game that it really actually aged well. Most of it aged well. I think Max Payne 1 has some parts that like didn't age so well, like both mechanically and narratively speaking. But Max Payne 3 is still dope. I wish more people were into that game.
So it should rise from its grave. Oh, I guess it's already risen. It's kind of right.
I've played Max Payne 1 in the last couple of years. Still enjoyable. I do think one of the things that Ryan and I always bring up is like fictional drugs.
Oh yeah, Valkyrie
are very, very funny.
Yeah, Vertigo,
like Mirakuru.
My favorite is Riverdale. Their fictional drug is Jingle Jangle.
That's pretty good.
That's a pretty good name for a drug.
I still like Mirakuru best.
Actually, no. I got both of those beat because in high school I did a film with a couple of our friends, and it was about one of our friends getting addicted to drugs, and the drug in our film was called Titty Max. So there you go.
Berto though walked by where they said the phrase "jingle jingle" when I was trying to get into Riverdale, but couldn't. And so now that's the thing he rants about. And if anything like that sounds similar to it, he's like, that darn jingle jangle. So like it makes him really like he still gets upset about it. So that's why it's my favorite.
Okay,
as drugs tend to do,
I'm exhuming the second corpse.
All right.
Was that Battlefield?
Battlefield 3.
Battlefield 3.
Isn't that franchise still going?
It is. I would say that Battlefield 3 is when that series peaked for sure. And I think that game I think the franchise has definitely fallen on some hard times. I think that the big thing about Battlefield has always been because I think its biggest contemporary competitor was Call of Duty, right? And I think that
we're Battlefield and Call of Duty.
Yeah, well, I think,
but they're so different though.
Yeah,
yeah, but they're both shooters, so it's like the thing to be competitive about.
Yeah,
like Halo wasn't making new games at the time. I think like the latest game they had made at the time was the strategy one.
Yeah,
Wars?
Halo Wars. Yeah, and so
it's funny because I feel like the landscape from Battlefield 3 to now has changed so much that they could exist beside each other probably just fine.
Yeah.
It's like, think about how many battle royales there are now.
Sure. You know, and I don't know. Like, I haven't played a Call of Duty game since Ghosts, and I haven't played a Battlefield game since 1. But I think that there was a period where they were very much trying to occupy the same space as one another, which I think worked to the detriment of both. Because like Battlefield is the game where like if you want large scale battles with lots of vehicles, that's you play Battlefield, right? And I think that if you want more like fast paced, frenetic, like close quarters combat, you're playing Call of Duty. I think they both try to kind of split the difference between the two, and they just kept making worse games for it. So
I really liked Battlefield 1.
Yeah, Battlefield 1 was pretty cool, but they should have gone
Also,
to
Bad
space.
Company.
Bad Company is interesting because I think Bad Company's 1 and 2 were actually like the best Battlefield games. Now I think about it, because I think that they were doing things that military shooters weren't doing, which is that they were not taking themselves overtly serious. Whereas like every military shooter is like now it's like super dark and like it's just like very self-serious and like vaguely propaganda like. But and well, I guess in the case of Call of Duty Black Ops 1, there was a lot of propaganda in that one.
Yeah, but even before that, like I remember like certain GameStop stores would have like recruiters like teaming up with them to help them like with midnight launches and like yeah.
You guys remember that episode of The Simpsons where the Navy was trying to brainwash people into
Yvonne Netanyahu?
Yeah, sending the subliminal message for like kids to join the Navy. You think like Battlefield or Call of Duty could ever do that?
Like the most overt thing that Call of Duty ever did was I remember at the end of the first Black Ops game, the ending is just a bunch of like U.S. military posted up, jets flying overhead, and that's the end of the game. And it is like,
Modern Warfare 2,
I'm gonna go to the recruiter tomorrow.
Modern Warfare 2, I remember when everybody was like, even though like, I mean, I don't know. I just remember everyone being like really upset about the airport scene in Modern Warfare 2.
I mean, yeah. I think they'd probably be. I don't know if they'd. Well, I mean, you think about how many mass shootings we've had since that game came out, and
so mass shootings are Modern Warfare 2's fault.
And I just think that like that would definitely hit different now, like a decade later.
Well, sure. A lot of people had the issue with it because of like 9/11 and like other airplane jackings. So like and the obviously blatant racism in it, but yeah. But yeah, no.
All right, guys. You're gonna pitch me a game.
All right, what's the show?
What's the show that we're gonna?
So we were doing sitcoms before.
Yeah,
what sitcoms did we do before?
You did Cheers, The Office.
Oh, that's right.
There was 2 sitcoms that I didn't know anything about. What's the Family Matters? Is that the one with Bundy's? We did that one.
That's Married with Children.
Married with Children. I don't
that know would be hilarious. All right. Well, let's see. Fuck it. Give me your best Seinfeld game. What would you do with Seinfeld with that license into video game form?
I would definitely make a motion game or like a VR game. One of the levels you have to dance like Elaine, and like it's a Just Dance.
You gotta whip out your Kinect.
Another one like you just gotta like start just bursting through doors like Kramer.
Okay.
Like because
it's like a mini game thing.
Yeah, it's like a Seinfeldware.
Sure.
Yes, essentially, but like you're going through this, like you're kind of like going through the episode, but you're going through all the plots like as their characters, and you could do like multiplayer on like some of the parts where the characters will interact with each other, but like not throughout all of it. And so yeah, that's my.
You know what I'm picturing? I'm picturing like almost like It Takes Two, just because you said multiplayer. Oh my god.
But
that sounds truly awful, but it is hilarious though.
Yeah, well, I'm not trying to get it greenlit anymore. I was trying so hard, but then after you greenlit the Prison Mike one, and you were like, "Yeah, I was planning on not greenlighting any of them."
I don't even remember.
There was the Sabrina the Teenage Witch, I think, is like the one that I tried really hard on. There was one of them that I tried really hard on. I got so mad. So now you get shitty VR games.
Well, you can't try that hard because it's just on the spot today, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, that's my Seinfeld VR game.
Yeah.
I think I would make a Metroidvania where you played as George and you basically
Whoa.
yeah, and so basically
Conflict.
like basically
Are we talking 2D, 3D? What's going on here?
well, in my head I was picturing 2D.
Okay.
But like you're like in the same way that in Metroidvanias you gather different items to help you progress further, I think you're doing the same thing with George to make him more dateable and make it so that he can actually land a woman on a permanent long-term basis.
Who doesn't die?
Who doesn't die. Yeah. And ultimately get him out of, doesn't he live with his parents?
Oftentimes, yes.
Yeah, so get him like permanently out of his parents' house.
Man. So it's a Metroidvania. It's yeah, I mean, it's got to be that one. It's got to be that one.
You don't have
because
to,
there's like
and there's either of these.
Well, there's easy items though that you could give him, right? Because like there's an episode where he wears a toupee, and there's an episode where he wears a wedding band, even though he's not fucking married. There are items you could use that would match up with the show. That's pretty funny. It sounds horrible, but yeah, that's the one. Go make it.
I would also like to see their. I don't know what the game would be, but it's got to somehow include the scene where Jerry wakes up in the hospital and Kramer's there, and Jerry starts screaming, and Kramer starts trying to calm him down, but then Kramer starts screaming too. That's one of my favorite scenes.
Oh my god.
Or I got an idea. An Endless Runner. That is the episode where George and Kramer try to see how long they can make the car go on no gas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's funny is like I think it was like today or yesterday the new Nickelodeon kart racing game came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed that second game. So I'm looking at the third one, and it's just all these random properties. I'm like, you could do that with anything,
Yeah,
Like you could make a Seinfeld kart racer.
I mean, they've got enough characters, for sure.
Yeah.
Of course, Soup Nazi's going to be there.
Sure. Sure.
That's another one too, like an Diner Dash with Soup Nazi.
Cookie Mama.
Yeah, Cookie Mama with Soup Nazi.
I was looking when I was trying to find some Doom trivia earlier, and I was looking at the different like Doom games that are like besides just like the mainline ones, but like also like just kind of like some that are in like the same IP. And there's one that I misread, and I can't remember what the actual title was, but I thought it said Doom Dash, and I was like, is that a Doom kart racer?
I'd play it.
I play it.
They're making that Bloodborne kart. That's pretty funny.
When you said you were gonna give us trivia, and I knew that Doom was coming, I thought it was gonna be something like, "Who was John Romero's primary care physician when he was making Doom?"
Would you have known that one?
No.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. Like I said, I was trying to make this fun, not like necessarily difficult, because it's just gonna be 3 questions. But I was like, I don't know enough about these games to know if these questions are hard or not. But there were like questions that like appeared multiple times, so I was like in like different like sites for like their Doom trivia or like their Shadow Colossus trivia. So I was like, all right, well, you have to like be at least like guessable.
It's funny, right? Like the trivia in general is hard, especially when the properties have existed for so long. Like with Doom,
Yeah.
Because like you could ask like, what's the name of Doom guy's bunny, and like. People who are into Doom now probably wouldn't know that, but like probably pretty much everybody who played Doom as a kid when we were kids probably knows that,
I don't know that.
But okay, well, anyway, I think it's Daisy. Pretty sure.
You don't even know yourself. Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Knows. Look it up. Google it.
Check it out.
I give it a Google. Ask Jeeves on that one.
Yeah.
Is that still a thing?
Like that.
Yes.
I think our Google Stadia episode was called "Let Me Google That for You."
Oh, that's a
Oh
good
yeah,
one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Google Stadia.
Tom gave did a thing where he would give us taglines off the back of boxes and we would guess the game. That was fun.
Oh, that was great. Yeah.
I don't really have backs of boxes anymore though. I mean they do.
Yeah, I don't have any boxes with me, you know.
Yeah, I mean.
But yeah, I'm really glad that we've done 300 episodes so far.
Yeah, me too.
I look forward to doing more with you, and yeah. Is there anything else that y'all want to add?
As a bonus aside, I often watch the video that I recorded when we were in Austin. We got stuck at that railroad crossing, and I gave Shanae a lot of shit for getting us stuck at the railroad crossing, even though that wasn't.
No, I wasn't on the railroad crossing. By
Is
the way,
that
I was in front of it.
Huh?
Is that on YouTube? That trip that we took?
No, I think it's. I don't know if it's on YouTube or not. I have to look. But I still have all the videos though.
Yeah.
But I uploaded them to my Google Drive. But that was fun. I should.
Oh wait, I do have a box. Hold on. Let me see if it has any taglines on it.
Okay.
And this is how we're gonna end it.
Fuck, it doesn't. Okay. I'm gonna read the description and you guys guess what game it is.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. I'm gonna leave out information that would give it away.
Oh wait, can we know what console it's on?
This is the Switch version, but it's on pretty much everything.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. When the dim-witted duo blank and blank
It takes two.
assault blank and steal super and steal super gnarly devices, the blank knows something sketchy is afoot. Blank title brings us a total blank takedown as the blank heroes battle across the iconic blank locations to put an end to blank and blank's latest scheme.
I think it's just because Clank rhymes with it, but Ratchet and Clank is everything. But I know that's not right because it's not on the Switch.
Yeah, it's not right. Ryan, you played this game. Ryan, I'm pretty sure you platinumed this game.
Blank and blank. I platinumed the game. Blank scheme.
What's the landscape? What's that blank word that you put out? Maybe we guess it from that.
Give me one of the blanks. Give me one of the blanks.
Yeah, give us one.
Okay. I'm gonna give you one blank. Channel 6.
Oh, Turtles. It's Turtles.
It's Turtles.
Yeah, it's Turtles. It's Shredder's
Well,
Revenge.
what's the blank and blank?
Krang and Shredder.
Oh.
Also earlier, Bebop and Rocksteady.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did platinum that game though.
I did think
Yeah.
Turtles, but then I was like, but it says blank and blank. So
I don't.
two.
Yeah, it's just funny. I don't buy a lot of physical games. I didn't even buy this. I just happen to have it. Oh, yeah.
Stole it. We know.
Yeah. That's what they call me, Sticky Fingers Tom, you know?
They do call you that.
People call me that.
Not for that
I wish
reason
you
though.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
Calls me for all the knuckle busting he does.
Yeah.
So that's all we got for our show. We are on most podcast apps. We also have a YouTube's. Ryan will link the Discord.
I mean, you click, I'll stick, you know?
I mean, he said he'd link it last time and he didn't, so.
Did I not? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
Ryan's gonna link our Discord a bunch of places. If you want to tell us congrats on 300 or have any suggestions on, I don't know, how to live our lives, I guess.
Or you want Tommy's stats.
Or if you want more details about why
Here's
he's
a good
sticky
one.
finger Toms.
Okay, wait. If you're in our Discord, grab the back of a box off of Google Images and message it to me privately.
Or in real life.
And I will use those images so we can do the same game in the future.
Oh, yeah, that'll be fun. I like that.
Yeah.
I like
Do
that.
all of Tom's work for him.
Yeah, do the work for me.
Yeah, and reap the benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, if you're not like a long-term long-term listener, I say goodbye this way just because I did it a couple times and Tommy and Ryan made fun of me and now I can't stop. So,
Won't stop.
bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.